Welcome back to the show, guys. We are here. We are back. UFC is finally back. We had 6 whole weeks without the UFC. Let me tell you something. I felt alive. I felt like I had my life together. It's hard doing this. I juggle. I have a full-time job, right? That's like 40 hours mandatory, right? I got my gym responsibilities where, I got to gym myself. I got to train. You got to do weightlifting. Got to, do Muay Thai, combat sports. Got to squeeze in cardio. Then I got my other responsibilities at the gym where I help other people out. Then I got the podcast and this chick I'm seeing. It's a lot, man. It's a lot. It's a lot. So the 6 weeks we didn't have the UFC. It was cool because I felt like I got to just chill. I got to catch up, spend some time with my friends. I was able to knock out some projects that I had going on. And yeah, so we're here. We had a good break. I did miss the UFC though. Do not get me wrong. I was like, damn, we had 6 whole weeks without the UFC. I told myself I'd get more involved with the other combat sports. I would like watch more of ONE FC, like boxing, whatever. I did none of that. I just took the time off, bro. I literally just chilled. It was honestly coincidentally fell all around the same time as my time off at work. Every 9 weeks. So a little bit about myself. I grow cannabis. That's my daily job. The way our place is set up, we have 8 flower rooms. Each plant has a 9 week cycle. Therefore, every 9th week, we call it like an off week, where I just don't have much to do at work. It just fell in line with when the UFC was off, so it was cool. I just chilled, right? I just chilled. Got a lot of sleep. I feel like I recovered a lot too. I got some injuries that feel better. But anyways, we're back. We're back with this UFC event, UFC 324. Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett. Man, was this a card? I was hyped for this card. I love Justin Gaethje. I know he's at the tail end of his career. He spoke on retiring a few times already. I really think if he depending on the way this fight went, he probably would have decided to retire. Had it not gone his way. But anyways, sorry, I got distracted. I got a text and I just saw it on my computer and it caught my eye. But anyways, I was excited to see this. Justin Gaethje, I love Justin Gaethje. He's just a dope dude, bro. He's got a dope personality, fighting style. I love. Very sloppy, can clean it up a little bit, but very exciting fighter to watch. Paddy Pimblett, I was not a Paddy fan for the longest time. I didn't hate on the guy. I liked his personality. He's funny as hell. I just didn't think the skill set. I thought it was really hype, bro. But it honestly, like, he beat Ferguson. He beat who was the last guy he fought? I see Paddy Pimblett. He beat a few guys, right? Oh, Bobby Green. That's one guy I was thinking of. So when he fought Bobby Green. So look, when I started getting into Paddy, like I heard about him, but then I started paying attention when he fought Jared Gordon. That was kind of like a whatever fight, Then he fought Tony Ferguson. Tony was at the tail end of his career, so it was hard for me to like put a lot of stock in that, But it was crazy. It was a crazy performance. Not gonna lie, that's probably his best performance yet. Then he fought King Green, finished him in the first round. King Green isn't like he's definitely like I think he's like top 10 or something, right? At least top 15. But after he beat Ferguson the way he beat him, after he beat King Green, I want to say Bobby Green, dude, but I keep forgetting it's King Green now. After he beat King Green, then I'm like, all right, let's check out this Paddy, and then. And then he, now he's fighting Gaethje, and I was excited for this fight, right? So. Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett. I'm not going to talk about all the fights. I'm just going to highlight a few of them like I always do. It's just too much, and I get too descriptive. I'm trying to be shorter with what I write down for these fights. So a little cheat sheet. So what I've been doing lately is I watch the fights. I put my thoughts down. My thoughts go by round. So round 1, I noticed this. Round 2, I noticed that. Round 3, blah, 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 They're usually long. It'll be like a paragraph long for each round. I just like fighting so much, dude. Anyway. So then lately what I've been doing is I'll run it through ChatGPT, like all of the stats that I have, and I'll just tell him to condense it to a smaller script, So we'll see. I did that this time. We'll see. This is supposed to be like 20 minutes. Obviously I rambled though, so I don't know if it's going to be 20 minutes, but let's get into it. All right. So UFC 324, this card was a little weird. It was a little chaotic and very entertaining. Production wise was a little rough. This was the first Paramount deal, the first Paramount fight that they did. Commercials were crazy. They're literally, I'm not gonna lie, the commercials were everywhere, bro. It was a little rough. The pacing was a little awkward for it. I'm not gonna be too upset about it because I do recognize like the model. It's like they're giving a UFC at a way subsidized costs compared to what we were used to, like the pay-per-view model before, as well as the ESPN deal was way more expensive. So I can't be upset with Paramount for putting in their commercials. They paid a lot. I think they paid like $1 million more than what their company was evaluated as, or something, or maybe even $1 billion. It was something crazy, right? So I understand that Dana White, he was questioned about that, and he said the same thing, and I have to agree with them. I have to agree with them. I think I'm not sure if there's an ad-free version of Paramount. If there is, then maybe you hop on that and you won't maybe see less ads. I don't know, dude. They'll work it out, bro. I know they'll work it out. Cameron was his name Smothian? I think I wrote that wrong. I think it was Smotherin. Cameron Smotherman. I'm sorry. Yeah, I misspelled that. I'm sorry. Cameron Smotherin. He collapsed at weigh-ins. I don't even know if he fought. Did he end up fighting? Yeah, no, he didn't fight. Yeah, he passed out. He passed out at weigh-ins, dude. It was pretty. For me, it's whatever. It's fighting. You're gonna see stuff like that, right? I can imagine for the Paramount people, they were probably like, "Oh, this is kind of like a rough start." Like it's to our people, it's like the UFC, the violence, all of that is just normal, and you see the people pass out. You don't want to see that happen, but it does happen. I think for brands like Paramount, even ESPN, they're just not used to like this type of I wouldn't say content, but this type of fight league, or this type of sport, right? I think to them that probably was a big deal. It's kind of funny too because during the weigh-ins they had what was that freaking British guy's name? Oh man, see, I'm sorry. Who is the British UFC fighter with one eye?
You're likely thinking of Michael Bisping.
Michael Bisping. God damn it, I can't believe I forgot that, dude. Freaking Michael Bisping. Sorry, chat, it's been a minute. That was a little rough, dude. Anyways, so Michael Bisping, he was on camera and he was talking about how you had to make weight, this and that, and then all of a sudden in the background, Cameron passes out. Like, dude, timing was impeccable. Anyways, a lot of random energy in the card, man. But once the fight started, it showed you what the UFC is, a freaking well-oiled machine. Dude, I'm always amazed at the production of the UFC. Like, I do production. That's my thing, dude. I went to school for production, so I noticed the things with the cameras, the microphones, the cables everywhere, the lights. I'm so impressed with the UFC and how well it's just put together, dude. But anyways, let's get into the first fight. Oh, also would like to add, dude, I'm missing a fact here. Oh, here we go. I wrote it down. Yeah, so it was also wanted to add when I shut up, Siri, or shut up. She's still listening. Stop listening. Why can't you just stop when I stop? I hate that about you. I really hate that about that. I have to hit end. Anyways, yeah, when I said he got weird, what I meant specifically, aside from the Cameron Smotherson incident, Michael Johnson versus Alex Hernandez, this bout was canceled over betting concerns. The fight cancellation comes less than 3 months after the UFC dealt with another betting scandal. This was around Isaac Dolgarian and Yadir Davila. They, once again, I don't know if it was the FBI, they somehow were alerted of some weird betting issues going on, and so Dana White pulled the card like he should. Last time, I think he didn't pull it, if I'm not mistaken, or something. Yeah, he didn't pull it, and it got weird. So I'm glad that happened. You gotta, you gotta nip those in the butts. I honestly, I'm tormented, bro, because I want to get betting out of the UFC. I do, but I also recognize how important betting is to combat sports, particularly if you're a Muay Thai fan. It's very prominent in Muay Thai, but it's also like bad for Muay Thai, right? The people that are pro betting in the Muay Thai are the fighters or the ones that are making the money, but no fan will agree with it. It's gone so corrupt. I got a whole video that I want to do about that, but it's just so bad in Thailand, dude. It's honestly, I feel like it's trashing the sport, in my opinion, right? But anyway, so that's my whole other video I'm going to talk about. But let's start with Josh Hackett versus Denzel Freeman. This was a heavyweight fight. Hackett, I don't know if you remember this guy, but I think he was on the last card or 2 cards before. He came in, he's undefeated at 7-0. He came from Bellator. He was a former San Francisco 49ers fullback. Like I said, he fought in Bellator. This was his second UFC fight. His first debut happened, dude, I don't remember the exact date on that. It was like a big event, I believe, but his UFC debut ended in a first round KO. It was kind of exciting. No, it was exciting, right? I'm not saying it was kind of exciting. I'm sorry. My train of thought was, something happened. My cameras did something weird. It said motion something. That was weird. Anyways, it was a good fight. He ended up knocking his opponent out. And I remember speaking on him, and I was like, he's an NFL player getting into He had already fought in Bellator. I didn't know who he was, so I'm just I was I'm not gonna say I'm assuming, but like I said, I didn't know his Bellator, his stint in Bellator. So I was like, all right, well, we got this NFL player coming in. He's got some experience with wrestling. He's got a little bit boxing experience. I actually had him winning the last fight just purely on, they had like the similar record, I think, if I'm not mistaken, but I just was like, he has that NFL experience, and obviously he won first round knockout. I believe he knocked him out with like a hook. But yeah, so he's coming in. He's fighting Denzel Freeman. Denzel Freeman. I'm laughing because I want to say Denzel Washington. I'm sorry. I'm not racist. I'm sorry. Denzel Freeman. He's coming in. He's got a 7-1 record. Freeman is significantly bigger than Hacked. He was. It was just noticeable. And then I saw the actual weight, and I was like, damn, he was about 30 pounds heavier, if I'm not mistaken. Less. They have the same experience in combat sports, but it's like I said, Hacked has the NFL experience, and it's like that. Even though it's a different sport, that elevates you a lot more than like these other guys that are coming in, these other journeymen or whatever you want to call them, right? But anyways, so 30 seconds in. Literally 30 seconds in, Hawk, he shoots, he gets the takedown immediately. And that's when you really see the gap in technique, man. Freeman, even though he was the bigger man, he could not control Hawk. He couldn't get him off him. Hawk was all over him on the ground and pound positioning. He's an exciting fighter, even though he lacks like a lot of the fundamentals of fighting. It's like he understands the combat aspect of fighting, and he understands to do the work, to hit him and fucking crap, dude. Distractions. But yeah, he was like punching him, kicking him, kneeing him. I mean, he was freaking messing up Freeman, man. At one point, he put him in a tie clench. He lands a gnarly knee. It was such a bad knee that, like, okay, so you're in the clench. I don't know if you guys understand what the tie clench is. Technically, it's called the plum clench, but most people will call it the tie clench. It's basically when you have the hands behind the neck, elbows tucked to the chest, and you're squeezing your forearms. So it's like it looks like how a tiger, when it attacks people, it kind of looks similar to that, Anyways, he puts him in the tie clench, and he's kneeing him in the head, and Freeman gets out of the tie clench by basically eating a knee so hard his head pops up over the top. Not the best way to get out of it, honestly. Kind of painful. Yeah, he gets a lot of damage. The ref eventually stops it in round 1. I think it went like 2 minutes or something. There was a little... I'm going to keep this short because, like I said, I'm trying to do this under like 30 minutes, maybe 40 at the most. But there was a little, back and forth between Daniel Cormier and Joe Rogan. Cormier didn't believe the ref should have stopped it at that point. I don't know if his argument was he should have waited longer or should have called it sooner, right? Or not waited till the bell. Joe Rogan, he thought the fight was it was decent. Like, he was getting messed up. He had no opportunity to come back, and he really didn't. He just kind of lay there for the most part, or just got beat, I think the ref could have called it sooner, personally, just because he was getting whooped. It is what it is. So yeah, that was that's how I feel. Oh, there was a funny part though in the fight. There's 2 funny parts that I'm going to mention. At the end of the fight, right before the round ended, Hack's like beating on Freeman, and then there's a point in the fight where he flips him off at the end, right at the end of the round. This is before the fight was called. Literally flips him off, and then the ref calls the fight, and it's just so funny. It's going to be a good picture, by the way. He's literally flipping him off, and then the fight's called. That was funny that happened. There was another part, maybe like a minute into halfway through the round. Actually, I'm sorry. I said he stopped him 2 minutes into the round. I think he lasted the whole round, if I'm not mistaken. But there is a part like halfway through the round where Hack's on top of Freeman, and he basically, Freeman's in turtle position, right? So turtle position's like we're on all 4. Hackman's on top of him, like kind of like straddling him like a horse, basically, and he spanks him on the butt, and it's so funny. I thought it was funny. So yeah, that was I can see his future in the UFC. I think he's entertaining, and I mean, I don't know if he's gonna ever be like a champion. Who knows? Actually, who knows, bro? And I think I actually said this before. The heavyweight division, it's at a loss right now. I mean, you got who's in it? John Jones, I think, retired officially already, right? You got Cyril Gane, and then you got, what's that British guy's name? Oh, spacing, bro. What's that? Tom Aspinall. I don't even need you, ho. They don't even need you. I'm not even high yet. I didn't get a lot of sleep, guys. Sorry. Tom Aspinall. You got Tom Aspinall, Cyril Gane. Like, come on. This is heavyweight, right? Yeah, this is heavyweight. So who knows? He might be able to get to the top 5, honestly, bro. I mean, if you just give him another year or 2, get him some good technique. He's decent all around, bro. He's got good wrestling and he's got good boxing, bro. So it's like, what else you need, right? Anyway, so Moving on. Alex Perez versus Charles Johnson. This was a flyweight bout. Alex Perez is a freaking local. He's from Southern California. He trains out of Team Oyama in Irvine. Great gym. I interviewed Hung Vu. I've interviewed Ron Schoolsdang, both of them. They are from Team Oyama. Hung Vu, I believe he got with the Oyama was he with Oyama at No Limits? I think he was with Oyama at No Limits. That was before Oyama got his own spot. He was just coaching there, I believe. You could call it a precursor to Oyama, to Team Oyama, right? It's a great gym, very popular. Gioni, Vasquez, I've interviewed him. He's out of Oyama. He's a champ over at UNF. It's a great gym, dude. A lot of great fighters, right? Charles Johnson was the guy he fought. Charles Johnson, I think he's only been in the UFC for a couple years, but man, that guy's been picking up a lot of fights, dude. Very interesting haircut, balding everywhere, kind of a little bit hair in the back, braided. Reminds me of a reverse mine shop or something. Best way I could describe it. But yeah, Perez, he's coming in. He's ranked number 11 with a record of 25-10. As I said, he's training out of Team Oyama. He's got a 65.5 inch reach. Johnson's coming in. He's got an 18-7, way longer reach advantage. His reach advantage is 70 inches. Right from the jump, Perez, he fought smart, dude. He kept attacking the back leg of Johnson. A very clean technique. Perez, I noticed he really favors the low kicks. He's really got that like Southern California like striking like Muay Thai style, where it's kind of like think of like Kevin Ross. If you guys are familiar with Muay Thai, that Ajahn Chai like lineage and stuff like that, it's like really heavy, kind of like the Dutch style. A lot of heavy hands into low kicks and stuff, or ending with kicks. It's kind of like the standard, I guess, nowadays. But whatever. I mean, you see it, you know it. But yeah, so he likes to throw a lot of the low kicks. And one thing I noticed about when he throws the low kicks is he most of the time when he throws it, he'll cut the angle. So he's kicking like the backside or the all the way back part of your leg. Think of basically a calf kick but higher. I think he attacks both. It's a very smart thing to do because if you've never had your kick checked, it freaking hurts. You can only do so many of those. And if you get unlucky and your opponent checks and you're hitting like the higher part of his shin, like his knee, you're taking way more damage than your opponent is. So when he cuts that angle and to kick that side or the back leg, it's really smart because if your opponent brings the leg up, even if you hit it, it's like you're hitting the softer part of the leg or the backside, which is, it's a smart technique, right? Right when the fight started, it was gas. These freaking flyweights, I love the flyweight bouts. They were just so much pressure from both ends. At one point, Johnson throws a kick, though. It lands on Perez's body, and Perez just counters with the left hook, drops him. Up until this point, it was kind of like back and forth. You couldn't really tell. I mean, I'm a little biased towards Perez because, like I said, he's from out here. So I'm going to try to be unbiased and say it was pretty even up until this point, right? So he drops him, and that's the beginning of the end, right? Johnson's wobbly. He starts backing up now. Perez smells blood, bro. He's basically kneeing him on the outside. He's kneeing him in the clinch, nonstop pressure, hooks, just literally all hooks, Johnson throws another kick, and Perez lands the same. Actually, I think I wrote that wrong. I think I was remembering that wrong. I think this time Perez threw a kick, and then off his kick, he threw a left hook. I think I mixed that up. I'm sorry. I wrote a lot today. I wrote this all this morning. But he throws a left hook, drops him again, and he goes down, and basically he just gets beat up, and the ref ends up stopping the fight. Johnson didn't even realize the fight was over. At one point, he like grabs Perez's leg after the fight gets called. I mean, you have to hear the ref has to tell him to stop. I love how like they got the body cams now. They kind of took that from the PFL, if I'm not mistaken, but the refs got like a body cam so you could see different angles. Dude, the UFC has so much cameras. I'm so curious when I watch the UFC. I'm like thinking like, where are these cameras going, right? I noticed they have a lot of like the big traditional cameras on the steady cams, which are the ones that are on the body, right? Those are hardwired in with cable, so I'm assuming those are the live feed. But then I've been lately seeing like these guys with these gimbals and like that, and they're running around with like Sony A7s, like these smaller like prosumer cameras. And I'm like, where are those going? Are they attached to the stream or something? I don't know, dude. Sorry, ramble. But yeah, so winner, Alex Perez, he wins via TKO, first round, impressive win. California kid, baby. But yeah, Next fight I'm gonna get into, I'm gonna keep it short. Derek Lewis versus Waldo Cortez Acosta. This is a heavyweight bout. Lewis, one of the most experienced heavyweights on the roster. He just got outclassed by Waldo. Waldo was sharper everywhere. He got Lewis down. Derek almost. But okay, I'm not gonna say he got Lewis down. What happened was there's an exchange, and Lewis was kind of losing these striking exchanges, just the technique, and he like falls. Derek Lewis, he ends up falling on it by himself on the canvas. He falls and he just accepts the fall. He didn't even try to get up. He didn't even try to scramble. It's kind of, I felt like he just got tired. It looked like he got tired, and it was towards the end of the round. He fell and he just was like, I'm just gonna try to rest here. Freaking Waldo just mauled him, got on top, and just finished him up with ground and pound. A super big mistake on Derek Lewis. I don't know why he did that. I think he was tired, and I don't think he felt like he was winning the fight. And even if that didn't happen, he probably still would have lost. So I'll just keep it short, right? It is what it is. His balls was not hot that night. Next fight I'm going to get into, Natalia Silva versus Rose Namajunas. This was a flyweight title eliminator. Rose, she's coming in at ranked number 6. She's got a 15-7 record. Silva's ranked at number 2, 19-5 with 1 draw. Silva's been making her way up, the division, man. I've been just watching her climb, and just like, it seems like no one's really got anything for her, honestly, but Rose, she's a former strawweight champion. She came in with the lead experience and composure. I mean, think of the people she beat. She beat Zhang Wei Li. I think she beat her twice, if I'm not mistaken, right? I could be wrong, but she beat her at least once. So you can never count her out. But Silva, she came in with constant feints and pressure. Physically seemed like the stronger fighter. Rose had good footwork, bro. Even from the beginning, it's like she was great with her footwork, great moving around, distance control. She does a really good job at that. I mean, she comes from Pat Barry's camp. Pat Barry, elite, kickboxer. She just was too cautious, dude. For the first 2 rounds, she was. I think I had her ahead a little bit, but it was like hard to score because not at the first round or 2, right? For sure, first round, it was hard to score because not a lot was going on. But she was doing a really good job at slipping Silva's like punches and countering. I think the strength came from Silva's feet, the kicks and the power, and Rose was doing better with her boxing, especially the slipping and rolling and the countering. But yeah, round 3 is kind of where the meat and the potatoes. Like the first 2 rounds, like I said, round 1 for sure, give it to Rose, just barely. 2, I can't even remember what happened. It was just all blur, barely nothing. A lot of feints. Round 3, Silva was all in. Hard kicks, pressure. That nasty side kick to Rose's face, man. And it woke up Rose, though, it did. So after a couple kicks, Rose started staying in the pocket. She made it ugly. I don't think that's Rose's strong point. I think she does better on the outside, and she's better when she's able to think, but she doesn't do enough. So she needs to find that middle ground. It's like when you see her, how she won against like Zhang Wei Li and stuff, there was a lot of pressure, but she just was in instant flow state. It's like she was moving like she was having a hard sparring round, and that's where she shines. But unfortunately, it's the mental aspect for Rose. Honestly, that's what it comes down to. But yeah, next fight, Umar Nurmagomedov versus Davison Figueiredo. I didn't even remember seeing this fight on the card. I would have been so excited had I known. I was just, I was thinking of Gaethje. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was excited for this fight, let down by it. Not gonna lie. This was a bantamweight bout. Umar basically, this fight was all about control, man. But yeah, Umar came in. He was ranked number 2. He's got a record of 19-1. Figueiredo's coming in ranked at number 6. He's 25-5-1. And Figueiredo, he missed weight by 2 pounds. Not the first time he's missed weight. He's 38 though, so I get it. He's older. This fight, was rough, dude. I'm gonna say it was because of Figueiredo's weight class, but it could also be because Umar's just that good, bro. Umar didn't he didn't rush anything. The first 2 takedowns that Umar got, and I'm gonna say, I forget that Umar came in as a kickboxer. I see him as a grappler because he's so good, but he has said time and time again that striking was his first sport. So I'm gonna try to remember that. But anyways. The first 2 takedowns that Umar tried to do on Figueiredo were stuff. Figueiredo was on top of that. But Figueiredo did get punished. He was able to defend it, but Umar did punish him. And that's the thing about Umar is he's got really good fight IQ. He'll try something, and if it doesn't work, in the moment he'll adjust and do something else. And that's what makes his grappling really good too, because you'll see him on the ground and he'll have someone in position, and he's just aware of what the exit is, right? And so you'll see him like go to the next he'll block the next thing before his opponent even goes for it. Smart guy, right? But yeah, on the third attempt though, Umar was able to take him down. He timed Figueiredo coming in. I think Figueiredo threw a cross or something, and he just timed that aggression and was able to take him down. It was a clean takedown, and honestly, when Figueiredo's at his top game, that's the only way you can take him down. You can't just throw naked takedowns with that guy. You have to really set them up with something striking, or just get him on the counter. That's the easiest way I noticed from his previous fights is Figueiredo. He's very aggressive, and you can use that aggression to try to take him down or something. Figueiredo looked exhausted early on, man. He was heavy breathing, minimal offense. His corner was even calling it. I'm sorry. His corner was calling it a 1-1 at the third round. That was crazy because honestly, I didn't see that. I thought he was 2 rounds down by the third round. Umar just controlled the pace. The fight went the distance. The third round is kind of like when you saw, similar to that Rose fight, actually, coincidentally. Funny. But yeah, the third round is when Figueiredo came alive, but he got the worst of the exchanges. It wasn't too bad of a beatdown, though, but it is what it is. But yeah, Umar wins via decision. Gene Silva versus Arnold Allen, baby. This was one of the 3 best, most top fights I wanted to see on this card. Gene Silva, huge fan of this guy. Arnold Allen, classic. Like this guy too. I don't know. I just like Gene Silva a little more. Arnold Allen, this was a featherweight. And was it? And although honestly, I will say this up front. I didn't finish watching the fight. The third round, halfway through the second round, I had to leave to go do something. I was in LA, so I missed the end of the second and the whole third round. But then I saw the other fights. But anyways, Silva, he's coming in ranked at number 10. He's got a 16-3 record. He's got a 69-inch reach advantage. Allen, he's ranked at number 6. He's got a 20-3 record with a 70-inch reach advantage. Allen's never been finished before, honestly. Still hasn't. Round 1 was, it looked like it was Allen's. He was very clean, straight punches, technical striking, very technical striking. Honestly, that whole first round, Silva tried to bully Arnold Allen. You guys got to remember, Arnold Allen is a savage, bro. He is. He's a beast. Silva tried to bully him, and he couldn't because he would come in, and Arnold Allen would just use a lot of straight punches, a lot of kicks. Arnold's straight punches are money, and he's taller and lengthier, so he's able to land those straight punches easy on Silva, especially because Silva likes to do a lot of hooks. He's like a little freaking. He's like another. Who am I thinking of? What's that Brazilian guy that used to go crazy? Anyways, I gotta try to finish this because I got something to do. But anyways, round 2, Silva adjusted. He started increasing the pressure, increasing the output. I saw the highlights of round 3, right? So I'm gonna just go ahead and give you my opinion, even though I didn't see the full fight. By round 3, though, it looked like Silva was clearly in control. He was beating the crap out of Arnold Allen. He ended up winning by a decision. He actually jumped on the back of Arnold Allen. Like he's surfing at the end of the third round. I don't know if it was the third or second round. I think it was the third round, but he jumped on his back like he was surfing. It's so funny. But yeah, that fight was pure chaos. I freaking love that fight. I'm gonna rewatch that probably tonight after I do this. But yes, next fight. Sean O'Malley versus Sonya Dong, baby. This was a bantamweight fight. I love both fighters. I love Sean O'Malley. I love Sonya Dong. Sonya Dong. Song trains out of, where's he training out of? I think like Sacramento or something. He's at Ura Favors gym out in California. I'd call him a California transplant. I'm gonna freaking like this joint, baby. We're gonna get high. We're gonna get high, baby. This is what we do. Sonya Dong, baby. California transplant. O'Malley. I love O'Malley, bro. He gets a little weird guy, but I like the weirdness, man. I mean, I'm okay with him. I'm okay with him liking 6'9". It's all good. The pink. I respect him. I like O'Malley's style. He seems like a cool guy. But yeah, did I say the rank? I don't know, but I'll say it again. O'Malley's coming in ranked at number 3. 18-3 record. Sonya Dong ranked number 5. He's got a 22-8 record. The first 2 rounds, a lot of cautious. Tons of feints, man, from both fighters. Both fighters were feinting like crazy. I like it, though. I like the feints. It's actually something I've been trying to work on with a lot of people in my gym. Get them to feint more, you know what I mean? It's cool. A random statistic, right? They did a study. The average amateur fighter feints about 10 times per fight. The average top 10 pro fighter is feinting 30 to 40 times per fight, right? A little something to tell you. But yeah, a lot of mutual respect between the two. Song landed a lot of low kicks early on, but he couldn't really cut off O'Malley that fight. O'Malley was just so good with his movement, the switching the stance as he's moving in and out. he's giving Sonya Dong a hard time. Like Sonya Dong really had to leap into his strikes to get to him. Part of it was also due to the height, the height difference. And like I said, O'Malley switches between southpaw and orthodox, right? It just gives him a lot more range, a lot more room. But yeah, the first 2 rounds, not a lot was going on. Round 3 is that seemed to be the magic formula for these. I don't know if they told all these fighters like round 3, make it happen, but maybe there's some conspiracy. I don't know. But round 3, that's where Sean was really found his timing. Started landing a lot of clean punches to Sonya Dong's face, a lot of straight punches. It's kind of like the same thing with the Silva and the Allen thing. You have a guy that's really aggressive coming in a lot, and you're a little bit taller than him. You can use like your straight punches and your distance control to kind of like get him to walk into punches. That's basically what happened. Sonya Dong he ate a lot of punches in that 3rd round. He was bleeding. The first 2 rounds, I don't really know how to score the first 2 rounds. I'm gonna say they're even the first 2 rounds. Not a lot happened. Maybe Song got the first round because he landed a lot of low kicks. Song abandoned his low kicks after halfway through the 2nd round. I think because in his head he was probably thinking they weren't doing anything. That's an attack you have to invest heavy on early, and you have to continue to invest on. But yeah, so. And O'Malley has shown to be susceptible to leg kicks because, a little tidbit, when you have that style where you fight from both stances, attacking the legs is the easiest thing to do because it's like they're constantly switching stance. And then if you're smart and you attack with you're using different legs to attack their different legs, money. But yeah, so it wasn't really a beatdown, but Son's face was bloody. The fight goes to O'Malley. High level fight, dude. High level striking. I love it. So let's get to the meat and potatoes, baby. Hopefully this lasted shorter than 20 minutes. Try to keep these short. A finale, baby. Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett. This was a lightweight bout. I love Justin Gaethje. I love him. Just a ball of chaos. Gaethje's coming in ranked at number 4 with a record of 26-5. Paddy's coming in ranked number 5, ranked with a record of 23-3. Dude, matchmakers did good this fight. Honestly, a lot of really similar records, a lot of similar rankings, and I forgot what the matchmaker's name was, but I thought he did a good job. Gaethje early on tried to overwhelm Paddy, like hella early, like from the beginning of the first round, heavy pressure, big shots. Wasn't the smartest idea against Paddy. I liked watching it, but he was eating a lot of damage coming in like that. Paddy's insane, bro. His chin is insane because he was getting, dude, in the first round, there's some exchanges and Paddy actually hit Gaethje hard. I don't think he dropped him, but he hit him really, really hard. And it looked like Paddy was going to win that round. But then towards the end of the round, Gaethje got Paddy against the cage and he had him in like I don't know if it was a plum clinch or like a 50-50 clinch, right? Like a collar clinch. And he threw an uppercut from that and just dropped Paddy. Paddy was against the fence, fell. Gaethje got on top, landed a bunch of ground and pounds, and then just got up and let him up, Dude, that beatdown should have knocked Paddy out. Paddy's chin, Scousers do not get knocked out. Paddy proved that Scousers do not get knocked out. But yeah, he ate big shots. There was some wrestling involved too, coming from Gaethje's side. I thought Paddy was going to take Gaethje down, but in the first round, he didn't take him down at all. And Gaethje actually took Paddy down, I think twice, dude. But yeah, the one thing I will say about Gaethje is he has the nasty habit of dipping his head way too low. I understand if it's a pure striking bout, and especially if it's coming to boxing, it's like, yeah, that leaning off to the side. I see why you do it. You land your punch, you slip your head off the center line, stay safe. Does not really work so much once you start adding kicks and knees. And then once you bring it into MMA, even works less. And Paddy's smart. I saw him adjust early on in the first round. He started noticing how Gaethje slipped his head. I don't know if he planned for this, like he worked in his camp, but he started throwing his punches off to the side and he was landing them. He was. He adjusted well. Round 2 was a lot of the same thing. It was just a lot of Gaethje pressure, nonstop trying to kill Paddy. Paddy was beaten up and bruised by the end of round 2. Honestly, there was a few moments where I thought Paddy was gonna get knocked out, and he survived. Got a good chin, bro. By round 3, though, Gaethje slowed down. He had so much output. He slowed down. He really tried to get Paddy out the first 2 rounds. Couldn't do it, and he was like in territory now. Oh crap territory, right? Round 3, Paddy started to pick him apart. especially with the boxing, bro. I was surprised. Patty's boxing was looking crisp, dude. It's funny because Patty's boxing looked good and Gaethje's grappling looked good against Patty, which things I did not expect to happen for either of the fighter. But Patty's jab was money, bro. That third round, Patty was just all over him with the jab. Anytime Gaethje would try to get into the pocket, boom, jabbed him in the face. Round 4 was more of a back and forth, but the jab was really like, that's when Patty started really investing heavy into the jab. Yeah, but like I said, Patty just used his range in the jab. Round 5 was a war. Back and forth. I was literally at the top of my, like, I wouldn't even sit down for the whole 5th round, bro. I was just on, like, oh my God, this is crazy. I thought Gaethje could have lost. I was like, oh, you know? But yeah, round 5 was a war. Gaethje ended up finishing strong, dude. He really, towards the end of the round, I got on top of Patty for a little bit, a little ground and pound, beat him up a little. Was really trying to put his skull through his hand through his skull, man. But yeah, the end of the 5th round, I was just, a lot of excitement, a lot of banger. But yeah, Gaethje ended up finishing strong in that 5th round. He ended up winning the fight. I'll post some pictures of their faces. It looked like Gaethje wasn't even fighting. Patty looked like he just got back from World War III. Yeah, things that stood out for me. Both fighters look like they improved a lot, right? Gaethje's striking looked like it deteriorated a little bit in terms of like how he slips his head. I saw those were habits he had early on in his UFC career, and then he kind of like around like the dust when he started fighting Dustin, he started cleaning that up, but it came back out. It seems like it's something a habit he picked up early on in his martial arts career, and when he just starts swinging for the fences, he just goes back to that habit. I have bad habits too, right? I started with Taekwondo because of it. It's like I have the nasty habit of I like end up putting my hands down to my shoulders because this is how you fight in Taekwondo, head straight up. I have the habit of doing that. And I have the habit of like just overslipping. I'll start slipping a lot and trying to be like Sanchai. I don't know why, dude, but these are things that normally, like when I'm first round, second round of sparring, I'm good. I'm like keeping my hands up, less head movement, whatever. Once we get to like round 3+, when I start getting tired, I just go back to my old habits, right? My bad habits. It's just in my brain, it's the synaptic nerves just fire off. But yeah, anyways, Justice wrestling, Patty striking, both legit. Overall 324. Good card. I liked it. I cannot wait for the next card. We're going to have, who is that next card? It's going to be Volkanovski versus, what's that guy's name? That freaking Brazilian Mexican guy's name. I see his face. I like him. He's such a great guy. Who is Alexander Volkanovski fighting next?
Alexander Volkanovski is set to defend his UFC featherweight championship in a rematch against Diego Lopes at UFC 325 on January 31st, 2026 in Sydney, Australia. Volkanovski previously won their first bout in April 2025, and Lopes earned this rematch after a recent knockout victory. The event will be broadcast live on Paramount Plus in the US and TNT Sports in the UK, with the main card starting at 2 a.m. GMT. It's definitely an exciting matchup to look forward to.
Yeah, so I can't wait for that card. That's going to be a great card. I got to go, guys. I have someone waiting on me. I got to go pick him up in K-Town, in LA. I live in Orange County. So thanks for tuning in. It's been a minute since I did a UFC episode. I got some videos coming on. I got some interviews I've been planning. I'm trying to go hard this year. So hopefully you guys support. I'm going to do a little bit more of these solo episodes, fight breakdowns. I'm also trying to do more martial art type content. I got a video coming out I'm editing right now. It highlights the difference between Muay Thai and kickboxing. If you guys like it, show some love, and I'll keep doing more stuff like that. I like stuff like that. Personally, I like that type of fight content where I talk about the arts and the differences and the minute stuff. I like the combat aspect of it too, like talking about the sports stuff, but different strokes for different folks. But yeah, like, subscribe, all that BS, and smoke some marijuana. Goodbye, everyone.